Have you ever told yourself, if only I had someone to practice English with, I'd finally become fluent? It sounds logical, doesn't it? Language is about communication, so of course you imagine needing someone on the other side. But here's the truth. That belief, this idea that fluency depends on a partner, has trapped thousands of learners. It feels like the missing piece, the roadblock between you and real fluency. But what if the biggest key was actually you? What if the best partner you could ever have was the one already in your head? Today, we're going to explore a new way of practicing English. A way where you don't wait for anyone's schedule, don't rely on random conversations, and don't get stuck in silence. Instead, you'll discover how to unlock your fluency anytime, anywhere, with nothing but your own voice. Think about this for a moment. How many times have you whispered to yourself, if only I had a native speaker to practice with, my English would finally improve? It feels like common sense. After all, language is communication. If you want to get stronger, you need someone to talk to, right? But here's where so many learners get stuck. That idea, so simple, so convincing, is actually a trap. It's a misconception, a wrong assumption that keeps you waiting for the perfect partner instead of moving forward on your own. Thousands of learners around the world believe it. They spend months, even years, searching for the right person to practice with. Some wait for classes, some hope for an online friend, some even pay for endless conversations that don't push them anywhere new. And what happens? They wait. They repeat the same mistakes. They feel disappointed when progress is slow. All because of one powerful but mistaken belief. Fluency requires a partner, but it doesn't. The truth is much simpler and far more freeing. You don't need another person to speak English every day. You already have everything you need to build fluency inside yourself. Now let's be honest. Most of us have tried the usual ways of practicing. Maybe you joined a language class with 20 or 30 students. Everyone takes turns, and when your turn finally comes, what do you get? 2 minutes to speak. 2 minutes in an entire hour. And when class ends, you walk away feeling like you barely practiced at all. Or maybe you've had a speaking partner, a nice person, friendly enough, but they never corrected your mistakes, so you kept repeating the same wrong phrases, the same broken grammar, again and again, without even realizing it. And then there's the random chat online. A quick conversation with someone across the world. Fun in the moment, yes, but the next day, you're back to silence. There's no routine, no repetition, no real growth. That's the hidden weakness of traditional methods. They give you a taste, but never enough to build fluency. Because fluency doesn't come from 2 minutes in a classroom or from the occasional friendly chat. Fluency is muscle memory. It's built by speaking consistently every single day until words roll off your tongue without effort. Traditional methods rarely give you that. They leave you waiting, repeating, hoping, instead of actually transforming. So what's the alternative? If classes don't give you enough time, if partners aren't always reliable, what's left? The answer is self-directed practice. It might sound unusual at first. How can you practice a language alone? Isn't communication supposed to be with others? But here's the secret. When you guide yourself, you no longer depend on anyone else. You set the pace. You choose the topic. You control the focus. No waiting for someone to show up. No frustration when a partner cancels. No wasted energy on conversations that go nowhere. Self-directed practice is powerful because it puts you in charge. You become your own teacher, your own guide. And once you start leading yourself, you can design a system that runs every single day without depending on anyone's schedule but your own. Think about it. You can practice anytime. On the bus, while cooking, while walking in the park. The moment you choose to speak, practice begins. This is how learners stop waiting and start growing. By turning practice into something independent, flexible, and always available. With self-directed practice, fluency stops being a dream waiting for the right partner and becomes a habit you build with your own voice. Now, let's talk about one of the most powerful ways to practice by yourself: the inner conversation method. The idea is simple, but the impact is huge. Instead of keeping your thoughts locked inside your head, you bring them out by speaking them in English, out loud. Imagine this. You're making breakfast. Most people just crack eggs in silence. But you turn the moment into practice. I'm cracking the eggs. The pan is heating up. I think I'll add some cheese. Suddenly, your kitchen becomes a language classroom. You're narrating your actions, turning daily life into an English story. And it doesn't stop there. Let's say you're watching the news or scrolling through a video. Don't just sit back and absorb it passively. Talk back to it. Pretend the presenter turned to you and asked, "What do you think?" You might say, "I don't completely agree. From my point of view, it's more complicated." That's practice too. You're simulating a real conversation, training your brain to respond quickly, even if no one else is there. And then there's the self-dialogue. This is where you play both sides of a conversation. Yes, it feels unusual at first, but it works beautifully. Imagine you're explaining a movie to a friend. So, the main character wants to leave the city. "Oh, really? Why can't he?" "He doesn't have enough money." By switching roles, you practice not only speaking, but also the rhythm of natural dialogue. You rehearse arguments, explanations, storytelling, all without waiting for someone else to join. With the inner conversation method, every moment becomes an opportunity. Your thoughts stop being silent, and your voice begins shaping fluency. Of course, we're living in a time where technology makes all of this even easier. You don't have to wait for a classroom or hope someone replies to your message online. Now, you can practice instantly, with tools right at your fingertips. Think about AI conversation partners. Imagine it's midnight. You suddenly feel like practicing how to order food at a restaurant. You don't need to wait until tomorrow's class. You don't need to schedule a session. You can open your phone, type, speak, and the practice begins. Immediate, on demand. And it's not just about chatting with AI. Many apps now create personalized learning paths. Personalized means the lessons are shaped around you, your strengths, your weaknesses, your pace. Instead of wasting time reviewing what you already know, the app pushes you toward the areas that matter most for your growth. Technology has turned practice into something constant, flexible, and always available. Whether it's 5 minutes while waiting for the bus or half an hour before bed, the opportunity is there. No excuses, no delays. It's like having a partner who never cancels, never gets tired, and always adapts to your needs. The best part? You're in control of how deep or how casual the practice goes. Want a quick restaurant role play? Done. Want to simulate a job interview? That's possible too. With technology on your side, fluency is no longer limited by location, time zones, or finding the perfect speaking partner. It's always just one click away. Here's the big question. How do you actually turn all of this into a daily habit? Because fluency isn't built in one giant step. It's built in small, regular actions that add up over time. Just like exercise, you don't get strong by going to the gym once for 3 hours. You get strong by showing up again and again, even if it's only for 15 minutes. So let's create a simple blueprint, a routine you can follow every single day. In the morning, as you're getting ready, narrate your actions out loud. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm choosing my clothes. I'm making coffee. These are ordinary moments, but when you speak them in English, you start your day by activating your fluency. In the afternoon, add something new. Listen to a short podcast or watch a short video. When it ends, talk back to it. Share your opinion. Even if no one hears you, say what you agree with, what you don't agree with, what you'd add. Suddenly, passive listening becomes active practice. Then in the evening, finish with a short self-dialogue. Pretend you're telling someone about your day. Today I was busy. First, I had to finish a report. Then I met a friend. Later, I cooked dinner. It doesn't have to be long. Just a few minutes of reflection, out loud, can lock in new phrases and patterns. And here's a powerful tip. Track your progress. Once a week, record your voice. Save it. In the beginning, you'll hear mistakes, maybe even feel awkward. But weeks later, when you compare recordings, you'll notice the difference. Clearer sentences, faster responses, more confidence. That moment, the moment you hear your own improvement, gives you the motivation to keep going. It proves that your daily blueprint is working. Fluency isn't something that appears overnight. It doesn't arrive in one dramatic leap. Instead, it grows slowly, piece by piece, like building a house. You lay one brick today, another tomorrow, and after weeks and months, you look back and see a solid structure standing tall. That's exactly how language works. Word by word, sentence by sentence, practice session by practice session, you're constructing something permanent. And here's what makes the difference. Consistency. Not the number of hours in a single day, but the habit of showing up every day. Even 10 or 15 minutes, done repeatedly, can change your fluency more than hours of a regular study. Every time you narrate your morning routine, every time you answer back to a video, every time you rehearse a self-dialogue, you're strengthening what can be called your fluency muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. There will be days when progress feels invisible, when speaking feels clumsy, when you wonder if it's working. But just like fitness, the results appear after persistence. The recordings you save week after week will show it. The confidence you feel in unexpected moments will prove it. Fluency is not a single event. It's a long-term vision you build with your voice, your effort, and your patience. And once you realize that, you stop waiting for the perfect partner, the perfect class, or the perfect moment, because you understand that everything you need has been with you all along.